Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something truly fascinating. It's a conceptual framework, a blueprint, really, that maps out a continuous, flowing journey starting from just a single individual act of learning all the way to massive global impact. The source we're analyzing today is the institutional motto for the IA-Live method, which triggers what we're going to call a domino effect. Now, this isn't just about reading a book or taking a standard course. It's an incredibly structured philosophical ecosystem where your personal education sparks a literal chain reaction that reshapes the world around us. We're going to unpack exactly how this model connects the dots between you, emerging technology, and the future of our entire global community. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this opening quote from the manifesto. It explicitly frames itself not just as a tool, but as a worldwide movement of the IA-Live method for permanent autonomous learning. I want you to just think about that phrase for a second. How could a simple, self-directed, autonomous learning method possibly create a massive, world-changing ripple effect? Normally, we're used to thinking of learning as this solitary, isolated activity, right? Something you do alone at a desk. But this source challenges that premise entirely. It suggests that committing to lifelong, permanent learning is actually the very first spark in a global engine. It's the catalyst. And the ambition here is huge. It's aiming to turn everyday curiosity into a worldwide phenomenon. Now, what's really interesting here is exactly how this autonomous learning is being powered. The source explicitly highlights the use of artificial intelligence and emerging technologies. This is literally where AI meets a lifelong learning. But it's not just about, asking a chatbot to write a summary for you. It's actually positioned as the core engine of this entire movement. The text notes that this happens in real time and from anywhere in the world. So geography, completely removed as a barrier. You have this real-time, location-independent fusion of human curiosity and artificial intelligence. The technology acts as a massive accelerator, taking traditional learning and giving it a scale and speed that simply wasn't possible before. So the crucial points is understanding your exact role within this framework. Which brings us to this highly specific piece of terminology, the living work, or obra viva in the original text. The manifesto defines this as a creation made in real time using AI to strengthen existing living books and works. What that means is that when you learn under this method, you aren't just passively absorbing information. You're actively creating something alive. A living work implies something dynamic, something that updates, adapts, and grows over time. You are producing a tangible output, aided by emerging tech, that contributes to a larger body of knowledge. It completely shifts the focused learner from being just a mere consumer of information into a real-time global creator. Let's move to and see how this builds, because this is where the scale of the manifesto really takes off. All of those individual living works we just talked about, well, they don't just sit on a hard drive somewhere gathering digital dust. According to the text, they are funneled up to strengthen something called the human library, or Biblioteca Humana. You can think of this human library as the ultimate collective global repository. It's the macro-level structure built by micro-level actions. Every single time someone, anywhere in the world, uses AI to create a living work, they're directly depositing a brick into the foundation of this massive, shared global intellect. To really solidify this relationship, because it really is the linchpin of the entire concept, think of it as a direct link. On one side, we have the living work. That's you. That's the individual, sitting anywhere in the world, actively creating in real time. Then on the other side, we have the human library, the global collective result of millions of those individual actions. The framework is drawing a straight, unbreakable line between the personal and the universal here. Your personal use of AI to learn and create doesn't just benefit you. It directly feeds, constructs, and upgrades a massive global asset. The individual and the collective are completely codependent in this ecosystem. It's a real game changer. Now we hit a fascinating philosophical chain reaction outlined in the source. Once this human library is built up, what does it actually do? Well, step 1, the human library strengthens the global community. Shared knowledge naturally brings the world closer together. But step 2 is where the logical leap is truly brilliant. The global community then bounces back to strengthen your individual life purpose. Do you see the feedback loop here? You start by contributing to the world gets stronger, and in return, that empowered global community gives you, the individual, a deeply fortified sense of meaning and purpose. Your life purpose is validated and nurtured by the very community you helped build. But the manifesto is very clear that this strengthened life purpose doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It's not just floating around in cyberspace. According to the text, your purpose must be developed in an active, physical alignment with the world around you. They call it a global harmony.
This means that true learning and true purpose, as defined by this method, requires a deep integration with both the physical environment and our shared moral standards. Basically, you cannot have a strong life purpose, according to this text, if you're out of tune with the reality of the planet you're standing on. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what that harmony looks like in practice. The source gives us a very specific, holistic ecosystem checklist. Your life purpose must be developed in harmony with nature, the protection of animals, biodiversity, natural resources, natural food, and universal human values. It's a remarkable synthesis, right? The text bridges the gap between high-tech AI learning and deeply grounded environmental and moral stewardship. It's asserting that leveraging emerging technology should fundamentally push us closer to protecting biodiversity and practicing universal human values, not pull us away from them. So, what happens when you perfectly align your tech-assisted learning, your global community contribution, and your harmony with nature? The source points to a deeply inspiring result: longevity with health, specifically physical, mental, and emotional health. The text argues that this entire systemic domino effect, starting with autonomous learning and moving all the way through global harmony, ultimately acts as a catalyst for human well-being. It's such a beautifully holistic view, suggesting that living a long, healthy life isn't just about diet or exercise. It's intrinsically linked to having a clear life purpose that is actively contributing to the world and respecting nature. Which brings us to the grand payoff, the ultimate horizon envisioned by the IA Live institutional motto. All of this is designed to promote sustainable development, not just for us today, but for future generations. And it relies on some incredibly strong foundational pillars: democracy, freedom, a healthy life, and joy. The manifesto doesn't just want a smart future, it dictates that the future must be free, democratic, and joyful. It is an incredibly optimistic view of what human beings can achieve when we use emerging technology not to isolate ourselves, but to collectively build a better, happier, and much more sustainable world. We've tracked this journey from a single spark of autonomous learning to a global vision of democracy, health, and joy. We've seen how the source material intricately links your individual actions with a massive human library. But, the only missing piece in this expansive domino effect is you. The entire system relies on that initial real-time creation. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to reflect on as we wrap up this explainer. With all this technology at your fingertips and the entire global community waiting to be strengthened, what will your living work be?